Cowboys and Rams. We have Randy Moss and MJ Acosta one final time in today's show. So, Randy, what are you tracking right now for the Cowboys?
Well, Cowboys receiver Amari Cooper came over in midseason from the Raiders, and now he faces two Rams corners today that he's familiar with from the AFC West. He had 5 games against former Bronco Aqib Talib, 5 games against former Chief Marcus Peters. This week, Cooper said, "I know them in and out." And then he said, somewhat strangely, I thought, "I don't think they know me in and out." Whatever you think about that, here are the ins and outs of the numbers. According to Pro Football Focus, there have been only 19 pass plays in which Cooper was targeted while covered specifically by either Talib or Peters. Passer rating for those plays, 25.9. But we know that Cooper has been more productive with the Cowboys than he was with the Raiders. MJ.
Thanks, Randy. And many are anxiously awaiting the return of Todd Gurley tonight. And after taking full reps in practice on Thursday, head coach Sean McVay said that his starting running back looked like that explosive great back that they're used to. Now, Gurley says he knows fully well how flashy this 2 elite running back storyline is, and he acknowledged Ezekiel Elliott's caliber of play, adding on, though, at the end, "Hey, I'm not so bad myself." Understatement from the man who racked up the most rushing and scrimmage touchdowns in the league in the regular season, even after missing the last 2 games of the regular schedule. Now, Gurley has no flinch in him. Actually, he thrives in these high-pressure environments. He said, "Hey, this is a primetime game at home against America's team. What more could you want?" I imagine the answer to that is a W. Colleen?
Yes, a win, that would kind of be the icing on the cake. Hey, wait a second, MJ, did I hear that you had hand warmers? Somebody told me that. Just wanted to throw that out there. I hope that that's not true.
Yes.
You do? You're in LA.
On deck.
Girl. That's amazing.
I'm sorry, guys.
You know what? That's all right. See, the crew, that's a good crew, taking care of you out there. So let's talk about this Rams offense. In 2016, the Rams scored the fewest points in the NFL. A year later, they led the league in scoring. And this year, they put up even better numbers. So what makes the greatest show on surf actually work? Our Hall of Fame quarterback and Rams legend, Kurt Warner, stopped by the Rams film room to find out from Sean McVay and Jared Goff himself.
And the Rams clinch back-to-back division titles for the first time since 1979.
Well, congratulations to both of you on an incredible season. How well you communicate, that's been a big deal around you guys.
Bring him down and get the Halle Berry, Birdman, Lamborghini. All right, my bad. I've got an annoying voice. Send that thing in so you can always filter me out. All right, here we go.
Sometimes I'll tune him out. Sometimes it's a lot of really good stuff, and most of the time it is. And you know, he's so dang smart.
Turbo's hit. Great ball home. Yeah, baby! It's your second time around in the playoffs.
And the NFC West champions have been knocked out of the NFL playoffs.
Is there something that you learned that makes you feel more prepared going in this time?
Anytime you're in those big games and those big moments, and anytime you win throughout a season, get that experience and the experience of either making the play or not making the play, and what would you do differently or what would you do the same, and having those experiences, it's going to be helpful.
You know, for us, it's about learning from some of the mistakes. I know there's certainly a lot of things, from what I can control. Just making sure you're doing everything you can to put your guys in good spots. Huddle them up, buddy. Huddle them up. I love the fact that we had a little bit of adversity early in December.
Incomplete! The game is over! For the first time in the Sean McVay era, the Rams lose back-to-back games.
You know, we came up just a little bit short right there, but I thought you saw a toughness and a resolve in our team that was something that we could take out of that. And then I love the way our team responded.
The Rams sweep the NFC West as LA has clinched a first-round bye.
I know we've talked about your growth over the 3 years that you've played, but just tell me what this guy has meant to your growth.
I think last year learning the offense, and then this offseason, everything he's taught me about defenses and everything we've learned together about how to manipulate things, and not just, what's the progression, but actually who are we trying to manipulate? How can I do that with my eyes, with my shoulders, with my feet? And I think on the other side of it, just from a leadership standpoint, as far as accountability and communication and all that he is so good with me at, that I can then bring that to the huddle and to the rest of my teammates.
Gotcha. What I really came here for was to have you break down some film for me. The first thing that just jumps out, your formations.
We try to have a lot of different things to try to create leverage and cause some communication with some of the coverage responsibilities. So there's a variety of different reasons why we'll try to do this.
Shotgun snap back to Goff. Now launches. It's caught. Tyler Higbee.
We've got really a high-low on the outside, and Jared's able to take that extra hitch, setting for the widest, kind of influences Lattimore to be able to open his hip, come down here on Robert Woods, and then he replaces him with Higbee. And I love the way this ball gets up and down to be able to give him a chance to run after the catch for a big 30-yard gain right off the bat. It's a great job by him right here.
Shotgun snap quickly back to Goff. He looks middle. He unloads. Robert Woods goes to the ground to make the catch.
Well, this play, the progression started over here. And again, it's a pure progression read straight across the board. And the leverage we had there on 25 with Robert, the way he runs that route, the way he's able to get inside there is special, and got a lot of faith in him. And we've hit these end breakers quite a bit this year, and he's really good at it, and I feel like I throw it well.
This whole play looks exactly like the other play. But you're saying now the progression starts from the right side.
Correct.
Yeah, well, I think
here's because it's almost the same play.
Sure. No, that's exactly right. It's a lot of the time, okay, what coverage are we trying to attack in this instance? Sometimes you get that inside out. If he doesn't do that, we could be shut out and we'll be saying, what a bad play call by me right there.
Love it. I know you guys got to go. I could talk all day.
What else you got on here right here?
Oh, and they continued to talk. So you can check out part 2 of the interview there coming up on game day morning. But let's get into the matchup a little bit here with the Cowboys defense. How will the Cowboys defense game plan for the Rams today?
You got to do a lot of things well. You got to stop the run. I actually like this matchup for them better than the Saints matchup, which we'll see. That may be a matchup next week. But in the passing game, it's Leighton Vander Esch, the Cowboys linebacker. And in talking to some folks in Seattle last week, he said he disrupted so much of our passing game. And we'll start with this one here because I want to show you this first play. This is early in the game. It doesn't look like that receiver. It looks like he's open, but from where Russell Wilson is standing, he doesn't have that throw because Vander Esch is long. He's got long arms.
Taller quarterback, he is open though. I'm just being honest. That's just.
I understand that, but they know about his length, and then once the ball is caught, he's reading it. He's right on top of guys. He's making tackles in space.
Yep.
So he's limiting that yak. So I really think that it's a huge key for the Cowboys if they're going to keep this Rams passing game in check. Look for 55 to be all over the place.
That trio.
50?
What?
No, not 50.
No,
Not 50?
No,
Sean Lee, he's not. No, Vander Esch.
He wasn't even dressed, huh? He's coaching. He's pretty much coaching now to a degree.
But that trio alone, Leighton Vander Esch, Jalen Smith, and DeMarcus Lawrence, they're playing right now at a whole new level. They're playing at like the top of their game right now, which is the best part of that defense.
And they're young. That's what you like about it. They're going to be together for a long time. But that has to start with stopping Todd Gurley in this run game of the Los Angeles Rams. I've said it before. Jared Goff isn't ready to carry this team by himself yet. He has to play complementary football, and it starts with the ground game. In their wins this year, they've averaged 154 yards rushing, and their losses only 75. And I thought the addition of C.J. Anderson was perfect, not just because Todd Gurley needed some rest, because now when Todd Gurley comes off the field, I don't think there's that much drop-off to the backup. C.J. Anderson can run the football with authority, he blocks out of the backfield, and he catches out of the backfield. So if I'm the Dallas Cowboys, it's all about stopping the ground game and making sure you limit it.
They did a good job against the Seahawks of that. #1 rushing offense.
And my whole thing when I talked to the Seattle media this past week, why didn't they push the ball downfield more? I would have kept on throwing it downfield more. Stop trying to run it. But
you
that's a whole other
say
conversation.
CJ's in, it's not a drop-off.
It's not a huge drop-off. That's what I said.
I know.
Well, what I'm saying is Todd Gurley's an elite back, and usually when the backup comes in, you maybe you don't have the same speed, maybe you don't have the same feel for the inside footwork, maybe the backup can't catch or can't block out of the backfield. When C.J. Anderson comes in, he can catch out of the backfield. He picks up blitzes with authority, he blocks them and stones them at the line of scrimmage, and he had one game of 167 yards. He's already second on the team rushing with almost 300 yards, and he's only been there 2 weeks.
I just wanted to make sure, because when I heard, I was like, really? And then so I just wanted to make sure, give you the opportunity to elaborate, because I agree with you, and it was a great point. I just wanted more.
Oh, my
I didn't want a morsel.
My media coach is here today, man. I appreciate it.
I didn't want a morsel. You gave me a little morsel. I was...
Yes, sir, big dog.
I think, too, this offense, the Rams offense, has really hurt by losing Cooper Kupp. Like, it's not like Cooper Kupp is this amazing game-changing
Not your ex-receiver, not your guy you got to account for.
But he's Jared Goff's favorite guy.
But he's the dirty guy. And I mean that, meaning in the run game, he blocks. He does all the things. In the play-action pass, he's the guy that was springing wide open.
So you know what he is?
He's
their #1 wide receiver. That's what he is. Right? Because this Kupp is never empty.
So do you think, though, that that's going to affect them in the playoffs now?
Yeah, I think it's going to have a small effect. Their number of play-action passes went down after Cooper Kupp left, and I had to take a look at that after I said it on this show a few weeks ago, and Jeezy was like, dude, Cooper Kupp has something to do with that, and so thank you, Jeezy. You made me look at
I can really
look, I tried to give him 5, and he missed me. He didn't even give me 5. He put it up and then walked away.
Last week.
You're really on top of your game.
I tell you, one of the things that the Dallas Cowboys need to do is understand and get Jared Goff, get him very uncomfortable. Get him to line up in the huddle and not call a play just standing out there reading the defense. Give him only a snackable content of the defense versus
sizes of
versus you know, because he sits there, they line up and take the whole 20 seconds where coach is telling him, hey, this is what they're doing.
Oh, he's in his ear.
He's in his ear. If you get him out of that, that makes him uncomfortable. That means he needs to rely on what he sees, not rely on what the coach is telling him. That's why it's important to get him out of the comfortability of being the huddle.
Yeah, and you know the Cowboys defense, they can do that. They make quarterbacks uncomfortable. They've done it all season long.
They take their soul, if I believe.
Marcus Lawrence? Yeah, he likes to do that. So we've been talking Colts and Chiefs and Cowboys, Rams all day.
I had something for that, but I'm not going to say.
You guys, the biggest question, though, has been left unanswered.
Who you got?
That's coming up next. We're picking winners. And just moments away.